I'm unable to connect. I'm unable to connect to the internet. We'll keep trying, but might join the meeting late.
Am I on?
Morning, Jimmy.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, we got a little bit of internet symptoms. Abby can't hook in, but Jen will do minutes for us until Abby can connect. And so we'll go ahead and get started. Abby, Jen, will you do a roll call?
Tom McDonald,
Here?
Len Tutis,
Here.
Jennifer Finley. Here. Jim Molitor,
Here.
Carol Langford,
Here.
Terry Pitts, Bing Matt, Ellie Bundy, Martin Charlo,
Present.
Mike Dawson,
I'm here.
James Steele Senior.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, we'll start today off with prayer, and I'll ask Mike if he would mind leading us in a prayer this morning.
Thank you,
This
Mr. Chair.
snowy morning.
Creator, in your all-knowing, all-powerful, and especially all-loving way, bless us as we do the work of our tribe. Take a special note of the weather that's happening and keep people safe, keep our first responders safe, get people to slow down on this snowy, icy road, and take care of all of everybody's personal intentions. In this, we ask in your name, amen.
Thank you, Mike. All right, we have minutes for October 24th for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Martin to approve the October 24th council minutes with corrections. Second by Len. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands or signify by aye. I think we have 9-4. Minutes passed. Okay, we have our agenda. And we have any changes to the agenda this morning? Terry? Yep. One item? Okay.
And if Mark or Willie or somebody from Lands could come down just to hear.
Phone numbers so I can
Okay.
see, can hear you.
Did have some from Lands come in this morning, Jim? Any other items for the agenda? I got a couple of updates on scheduling for you. You can do that too. Any other items? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to approve today's modified agenda. Motion by Ellie, second by Martin. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay. Okay, motion passed, unanimous. And we'll start out with, my little update. Just want to make sure people are aware of the schedule ahead of us. We will be changing the council agenda due to trying to capitalize on the majority of people here. So Halloween, we will not have a council meeting. We'll try to have our council meeting instead on the 31st. We'll do it on November 2nd. And then we have some stuff happening on Thursdays. There is the Canadian, USA, and Kootenai Tribal Coalition meeting on Thursday, November 9th, which is a council day. I think Len's gonna travel up. You gonna try to go up to Cranbrook for that, Len? I'm gonna stay here and zoom in case we want to have a council meeting. So there is a Zoom option with that one. But well, it's a holiday anyway. I'm saying, yeah, I guess it's a holiday.
And then,
Yeah. Veterans Day.
Okay.
Veterans Day falls on a Saturday, so it moves to would move to Friday, which then would, here we don't have Friday, so it moved to Thursday. So there is no work on Thursday, so you'll be working on your day off. What? You and I. I'm zooming.
and then remember, November 7th, you guys go to Missoula County Commissioners.
Yeah, so that means the only council meeting we have basically is our gathering with the Missoula County Commissioners and those folks down there, the lunch meeting, and then we'll probably try to stop at Ikusim on the way down for Wiley to recognize him in his rodeo. What? Yeah. But there's an opportunity maybe to do it at the school. We just stop there on the way down and give a special attaboy. I think what Stephen was trying to do was pretty hard to squeeze in. So there might be a chance just to all of us stop, see the school on our way down to Missoula.
I'm still gonna work that out with
We can
that.
work it out.
Yeah.
So that's a potential thing for add on for the morning of the 7th as we head down to see them.
It wasn't. For November.
Were there listening here? Yeah, November 1st, Wednesday. That's why I'm saying we got a conflict. I am definitely going to Kalispell, spend the afternoon with the feds on lake level management. So to do it, there's no way that, and I would encourage as many council members to go to Kalispell with me that would love to go. That's on Wednesday, November 1st.
I'll probably end up, if they have SPCC, I'll be there
Okay,
on the 1st.
yeah.
Unless
So,
I would just go for the more, or go for an hour and then,
yeah.
cause that meeting's at 10, right? In Kalispell?
Yeah, it starts at 11 to 3, right at that, one hotel out at Kalispell International Airport. Okay, well, that was, most of those updates.
I'll be gone the 2nd.
Second,
The new, whatever, I should really know the Basin Commission, UC3
okay,
combo.
okay. Get someone from Lance, okay.
Sit down to Mark to come down, but we have Brian Upton here if you guys wanna do
Okay,
that really quick.
well, let's do, Martin's, update first.
Yeah, real quick, Ellie, myself, Len, from council were at the meeting with Hecla Mines. They just sent some representatives. They have a cultural indigenous person position who started 3 months ago, and they sent her and another PR guy pretty much, it felt like. Both elders committees were represented very well. We had staff from preservation and Tony, of course, Dan Decker. But, you know, the main takeaway is obviously we're pretty adamantly opposed to any operations, even the exploration digs. And I think that was conveyed pretty well. So it was, I think it's just kind of the exact same thing that we've done over and over. And I think the elders really expressed that they're tired of telling them no, and they're continuing to do what they're doing. So, the representative from, Kootenai National Forest, Dan, was there as well. I forgot to mention him. So that's Len or Ellie, definitely chime in if there's anything more.
Thanks, Martin. Quickly, another thing though, so the 30th on Monday, we'll try to have a chairs meeting. There's a few updates that have to be taken care of, so. Don't see Lance here yet, so I don't know. Brian, you want to come on up, talk about the letter? Executive?
Morning. Yeah, I'd recommend executive.
Okay, we'll have to go in executive. Go, Jennifer Finley. And that was on a Sunday. So she's booked in for it. And if the Rocky Mountain Leaders Council group does, then that's good. So the important thing about, and Dan's here, one of the important things that it would be in a letter that we might have for Deb would be that local decision making. Do you have any rate making process that we need, and we need it all the time because there's pass-throughs, there's those kind of things. To have to go all the way to Washington DC to get approved is absolutely insidious and crazy. So to bring it back to the regional director or the local superintendent, right now in our contract, it's the power for rate making decisions is with the Prime Mercier and the Portland office, and we would like to be able to keep that. You don't want to have things go all the way to Washington DC. That's a mess. I had to deal with that for years, and in Kerdam annual report projects, and it's a nightmare.
So we'll,
Awesome.
We will bring it up as an issue and waiver, and yeah, we can. We'll see how far we get with it. So, all right, go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Mark. Jerry Hamel talked to me, had some concerns and questions. And the first concern was he's got a lease down along the river below the old Dixon Landing. And if you go down about 2 miles, there's some cabins there along our old buildings along the river there. And there's I think it's the granddaughter of the original owners of that are coming from Missoula, and they're doing a lot of work down there. And he was concerned he wanted to know if lands could go down and check on the people to make sure they're legal and what their plans are, because they're going through the railroad right away and then across tribal grounds to get to these cabins. And then he wanted to know if tribal members could work with lands to use some of the equipment, like a backhoe or something, because there's a pipeline over to a water system on the Dixon Stock Association that's broke. And so I told him to give lands a call and see, but I told him I would bring these up. And then he was concerned about on Coyote Flats up above Birches, we gave permission for someone who I'm not familiar with to have an easement across tribal land to get to their parcel of land. And so we were wondering if Lance could check out to see who that was, because the person he thought has that ground's not very respectful to the tribe. So it was just a list of some things, so. We gave him a 5-day or 5-year easement, 5 year.
So I can address the easement issue right now. It's actually just, the easement is just for the corner of the properties butt up from private property to the tribes. It's just a corner piece to cross. That's it. It's not any long distance easement. It had been brought into council on this and it was just to cover that crossing the corner piece only. They don't cross any tribal land without, they use the main road in and they have permission from the landowner, the non-tribal property, the fee land, going to their corner of their property to get onto it. That was the easement on that one.
So thank you. So if you get a call or one of your staff, you'll have a heads up to respond to Jerry. Thank you.
And then, from my understanding, when it comes to the equipment use, we can do contracts with them. Like our fencing contracts where we could go do some work for them. Our crew would go do the work using the backhoe and any of the equipment. But from the past or anything else, what I've been informed on is that for liability reasons, we can't allow our equipment to go out with anybody. So if it breaks down, it's, they have to pay for it. It just eliminates any kind of liability if the vehicle breaks down, they get in a wreck, or any of that for insurance purposes.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, he could contact us and we could get our backhoe and that down there to assist him with that water line and everything. We would just do just like our fencing agreements that we do. And then I'll work with Holly on the other issue. Cause I didn't know that was happening either. So it hasn't been informed of tribal lands.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Thank you, Mark.
Anything else?
Nope,
Alrighty.
that was it. All right, Lisa, you're up. Lisa, John, Dan, et al. Well, Mr. Left On, come on up. Come on up. Don't be feeling left out. Get up here. Oh, you got a lot of stuff for us today.
We don't have a ton of things for you. We just have a couple of work orders that we'd like to talk
Okay.
with you about. Oh. Don't have it to me, you talk. We have a task order for, what is this, stairs, steps, rails, and a ramp. And then we have another one for the bulletproof door at NRD.
Task order 26B is the bullet resistant door for our NRD. That'll finish up that building as far as the security. And that door and it's also got a little like a pharmacy drop thing where they can make payments in, where they won't have to come in. The door will be a crash door from the inside, so it's got your egress emergency exit door. And then also a buzzer on the inside that can open it if they need to come in. That's 26B for 65,255, and task order 6 is the stairs, steps, rails, and ramp. Got the steps over here, a new ramp from the ECS, which moves it away from the building, which if there's a fire and they're using the ramp, they are not next to the building, which makes sense. And then over here at probation, the steps in the back are wood steps. They are just about past their life, so we're putting some metal steps up there. And where else we got? And the kicking horse steps from the old admin building. They're all falling apart. Concrete ones, they were poured steps over steps. And that's been quite a few years. And then at Blue Bay, where the rail around the lakefront building, which is, steps were rebuilt several years ago, or not that long ago, but the rail is not up to code. So if any kid falls off there, we're liable. So we're getting that all up to code and new rail there, and the total on task order 6 is $219,017.
These are all, of course, within your budget.
Yes,
That's good.
deferred maintenance budget. Yes. Yes, sir.
And so the steps, all the improvements are more permanent, steel, concrete, all work.
Correct.
And then the bulletproof door, that's additive to the window that you did?
Yeah, that's the main entry door. And it's changing the entrance around, not changing it around, but where just people can't walk in. It'll still have the vestibule there, but just one door where you can ring it open, or they can pay from the outside, and all bulletproof. So it just takes away a lot of any of the issues we've been having up there. And the employees were sure happy to hear something was changing, whether it be a security guard or new building or what, but they were just happy to hear something was going on to help them out.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions from council? No, go ahead, Martin.
Could we do a security audit at some point of all front-facing buildings that deal with public? I think other places like, say, MVP, when the rate increases go into effect, they might start getting some reactions. You know, you can already see on social media that that's happening. You know, they're blaming us for a lot of things, and so, you know, the other thing, part of me is, you know, $65,000 could be 2 years of salary for someone to sit there, and, you know, we could create employment and those type of things, and so I'm not opposed to it. Just, you know, I think all of our people need the same kind of attention that, you know, face the public. So thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Any other comments? Motion by Len to approve the 2 task orders as presented. Second by Mike. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Ellie's abstaining. Or it's 6-4. Can't tell Carol or Jimmy. Okay, well, we got 5-4, 1 abstention, 2 out of the room.
I'm in favor.
Oh, Jennifer, there she is. Jennifer, Carol. She's in favor? Okay, Carol and Jennifer are in favor. Terry's in
I'm
favor.
for.
Jimmy? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's in favor except for Bing is not here today and Ellie is abstaining. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. John? Did the bathhouse get looked at?
Yes, it did. that seems to be quite, well, it's gonna be quite the job. I mean, because it's gonna have to be abated, of course, but the way it is, you're gonna have to demo some of it and then abate some. You know, it's gonna be kind of a step by step, but it's doable. The guy's making a plan, so. And we'll get that to you when he gets it wrote up. He's looking at some other buildings today, and then he'll go back and finish his report on all of them. We'll
Thanks,
get them back to you guys.
Thank you.
John? Thank you. All right, Zach, you're up. Dan? Shane? We'll move into executive session. Oh, yeah, okay, let's do that first. Okay. We'll stay in open and take care of the banking resolution.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, I want to congratulate you guys on your rate hearing. The other meeting the other day went really well. I was impressed.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Had a chance to listen in, and so it was a good job.
I appreciate the support. We've had conversations all over the valley this last week. So kind of preparing for that meeting, and, we're spending a lot of time talking about it. So it's easier, and it's getting easier and easier to get out the message. And so we sure appreciate your support. The first thing, if we can, we have a resolution that we're going to set up another new checking account at Eagle Bank, and it's to catch all of our capital equipment reserve balance stuff that we do during the year. It's a little bit different at Mission Valley Power. So when when we order some of these parts, these capital equipment requests, they take longer than a fiscal year to get here. So instead of mixing those numbers up, we would like to create this checking account. And as we order a new transformer that could take 2 years to get here, at the end of that fiscal year, we hold that PO in the system until we get to the end of the year. And we know it's going to happen in next year. So we pull that money out and put it into that checking account. So we're not trying to budget it twice. So we need a new checking account to do that. So that's the resolution I have in front of you guys today. Sure.
So how many transformers do we have in stock?
Well, that's a little tricky question because they got smaller ones,
Okay,
and those are not the ones we need. We need the giant ones that handle a whole substation. We have one that's in our area
that can handle a giant
That-
substation?
that could cover the system falling down in Arlee or I think it's Ronan West. So we have a transformer that fits those areas. So we have one,
Okay,
but that's the one we got.
yeah, I was just curious. Thanks, Zach.
Yes.
Motion by Martin to approve the resolution for the authorizing set up a signatory authority at account Eagle Bank called MVP Capital Reserve. Second by Mike. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all is in favor?
Yes.
Okay, we have a unanimous.
Perfect. I would like for the next portion of this to go into executive then.
Okay, Jim, we're gonna move into executive.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead, Janet.
okay. So we're requesting approval of the revised permitting process and the press release.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the revised individual septic system permitting process and related press release. Motion by Len. Second by Martin. Any further discussion? Go ahead, Mike.
Looking at the old ordinance, it looks like it's written for any sewage treatment within the reservation. Why doesn't this apply to fee land? It was signed by the secretary.
That's a good question. Brett, did you want to answer that? And I did ask Dan to talk to me about that after Brett answers.
It's my understanding that a previous council agreed to permit county review on fee lands. I knew that I individually could not, probably didn't want to be the one to try to reverse that process. That would be above my pay grade. That'd be between the council and the county.
Thank you. And Dan, when I asked Dan Decker about this also, he felt that for now, it's probably best that the county review the septic permits on fee lands until something can get worked out. So, you know, again, I would have loved to have pushed that issue, but I think Dan was concerned at the time that we were working on this in 2011, he was concerned about water compact issues. So, and I don't know if there are still other concerns that he has, but as long as the review is getting done, and then as you know, Dan and others work on updating this ordinance, I think that that issue could be explored further.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands. Got 6-4.
I'm in favor.
7 with Jimmy. And Ellie 8. Carol. Okay. Unanimous.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
And then basically just if you look under, I don't know if I had fiscal impacts, I had, work plan. I think, I just think it's important that work on the ordinance, to update the ordinance, continue, and that someone from NRD get trained to work with Brett Burke to go out and inspect those systems and sign off on those. Just that was based on the recommendation from IHS. That's kind of the process that all of the counties use. You know, there's always an engineer that designs the system, and then someone that signs off on the permit that reviews, like from the sanitation office, that reviews the design and then signs off on it. So it's just something for you to consider for future work plans for NRD and for the legal department for updating the ordinance. Thank you. Okay. So I guess that's it on this issue. Thank you. And I'm going to move on to the next issue, if that's all right.
It is. Do you want the next issue in open session?
I think I can move forward with some of the issues. Since this was in the minutes, I wanted to basically, for the record, let everybody know that the trailer park has been making money every year since I've taken over on it. It has not been losing money. So I wanted that on the record. And but I don't have to, if you want to go into executive when I talk about the spreadsheet, then we can do that, if that's what you prefer, Velda.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
The financials are proprietary, so you can talk about the major issues and how we contract out to the property managers, but I don't think you want to get into the financials. Thank you.
Okay. So, with that, the tribes purchased the trailer park. It was called the Crayakan Village Trailer Park. And it was purchased in 2007 from Bill and Betty Samsel for possible development as an RV park for the casino. Prior to purchase, the park's community sewage treatment drain field had failed and was fixed by installing lines in between the old drain lines, which was not a long-term solution. The Housing Authority's engineer states that the system is at capacity, even with no shower or laundry facilities for RVs. So we don't have that type of RV park set up there. RVs can use the lots. We do lease lots to RVs. But there are soils and topographical site constraints that limit the sewage treatment options. If we had to upgrade sewage treatment, we'd have to do a considerable amount of work to even see if it's feasible. We'd have to probably put in a pumped system. And that's if the site will be able to handle it. Also, prior to purchase, one of the site's wells had failed and one lot was being served by Samsel's private water system on their adjacent property. And then after Mrs. Samsel sold her allotment, a new water line and curb stops had to be installed at the park to serve that lot. The water system is also at capacity, and given the fact that one of the wells had failed, it doesn't look likely we're going to be able to get another good well there. Also, the heavily forested site has had multiple hazard trees removed since the purchase. There's a lot of pine. It costs us, oh gosh, 1 year, 10,000, another year, 10,000, another year, 7,000, another year, 7,000 to remove these trees from the lots. And you have to hire a tree removal service that can cut the trees into sections so that they don't fall onto one of the homes. And then also the sites adjacent to the Highway 93 Animal Bridge and Wildlife Movement Corridor. CSKT is on record opposing additional lots on this and the former Samsel property due to proximity to the primary corridor for grizzlies and other sensitive wildlife species. So those are some of the issues with the site itself. If you want me to go into executive for this part, I can.
Yes, if you're gonna give the expenses, cost out expenses and some of the former net profits, all of that.
Sure. Well, we'll just move into executive session.